back to our worldwide audience of painheads and cultural commandos. It's James Kalm, your half-assed reporter, the guy on the bike. And we are on Avenue B and East 4th Street in Alphabet City. We're going to try to run in here, the Half Gallery, and we're going to see an exhibition by Kyle Staver. Stay tuned. Okay. And I believe the title of Kyle's show is Tout Court. We'll make our sweep over the installation. Well, I intended to come in here yesterday and do a report, but because I'm not a vlogger that's sitting in a studio with a little set behind me or anything, I'm out on the street. I came across the bridge and gosh, the seat of my bicycle snapped off, so I had to pedal my way over to a bike shop and get a new bicycle or new seat installed. This is Crow's oil on canvas, 68 by 58 inches. It's actually oil on linen. And I think all the paintings in the show are basically about that same size. So 6 by 5, something like that. Well, if you've been watching the Rough Cuts or the Kalm Report for any amount of time, I think I started covering Kyle's work maybe 6 or 7 years ago. I think I've got at least a couple of shows of hers at Stephen Harvey. It's titled Boar Hunt, and I may have 1 or 2 shows of Kyle's at Zercher Studio. This is a little bigger. This is 58 by 70. I know it is. It's the same. It's just horizontal. I was thinking when I came in yesterday that I think Kyle in this latest series of work is really playing up her color things a lot. And this is great with this kind of a violet blue stag, and then the cloak that's coming off. I don't know whether that's Diana, one of the Greek goddesses. Nice little wedge of orangish yellow, and then the bluish green boars. Oh gosh, there's a whole bunch of maybe those are Amazon huntresses. This is a nice suite. I believe where we saw this studies for this at Steve Harvey. Maybe I'll see if I can get them and I'll paste them in here. This is the 4 seasons, at least 3 of the 4 seasons. So I believe this one is spring. Well, I was going to say that Kyle has been getting a lot of attention lately. And I think part of it is that just a lot of people are looking at figurative art. Also, you know, I don't know whether feminist artist would be the proper term, but she's dealing with a lot of imagery that's kind of recontextualizing the contemporary version or the contemporary vision of goddesses, the heroines, the ancient icons of I guess feminine strength and courage. And the other thing I like is that Kyle is a great painter. She really gets a lot of action going on in there, and she likes the facture, the brushy surface. I assume this one is fall. So we've got our mallards flying south. Well, when I was talking about thinking that Kyle had kind of bumped up her colors, and I could be wrong, but I seem to remember that a lot of her pieces that were on this scale, she was dealing with a lot more of the grays and midtones and the darker earth tones, and then she would use her shots of high intensity color for her details that she wanted to get to pop. Oh, that's a nice little detail. But in something like this, spring 2020. Also, I was talking about the poppy, punchy colors. This is a good example where she's really employed a lot of the high intensity greens into chartreuses, scarlets into vermilion. Let's go into the next gallery. This is Dolphins, 2021. $70 by $68. I think this is the only one that's more of a contemporary subject, although who knows, that could be some sea goddesses out leading their, I don't know what they call them, pods of dolphins somewhere. So I was talking about Kyle's color. The other thing that I think a lot of people find appealing is the way that she does a lot of this dramatic lighting or the backlighting. I'm sure there's probably a dramatic or a theatrical term for what it is when you have this strong grating light coming in from the side of a scene to kind of accentuate the characters in a certain way. I also think this is kind of interesting because she's kind of flattened out her colors on the dolphins. They're not heavily modeled like some of the other forms. Aaron's Archer. Okay, this is more of a kind of like maybe a Gaelic tale or a something from the Nordic folklore. Also, this is interesting. She's actually wiped that face down to where you can see the weave of the canvas coming through. Kind of like the dramatic juxtapositions of the dying figure with the arrow. And you could probably graph the lines of interest, the way your eye flows around this, and have some very interesting geometries. Forest dance. Yeah, the other thing I was going to say about the figuration is that Kyle always kind of keeps a kind of light, whimsical, almost cartoon-like quality to the images. But by doing that, she's able to kind of play on a more abstract, more formalistic quality of the way she's painting them. And I was actually impressed with the quality of this kind of this sheer gown that the goddess is in, that you can really get the sense that you're looking through something, and maybe some kind of dawn light is coming through the forest. And it's a great handling on that hand and the neck of the lyre or the guitar. I'm going to finish up this part of our tour looking at this piece. This is Artemis 1, 2022. .68 by 58. Well, I was talking about the geometry of one of the other paintings. Here's another good example of these 3 illuminated butterflies sort of surrounding Artemis's head. And then she's kind of kneeling in front of the fire. She's got her hand on the paw of the bear. We're going to try to go on and see a little exhibition of some of Kyle's reliefs or her porcelain sculptures. Stay tuned. Very lucky here. What's your name?
John.
We got John here to come down and open up the ancillary space, the inner sanctum. Okay, thank you. Well, just pan over these quickly, so it'll be interesting to look at these and see how many of these relate to inner studies for some of the paintings. They're calling these the objects. Study for fall relief. I was glancing through. Oh, so these are skulls down there reaching up and grabbing. I was looking at one of the blogs and they were, I think it was one of the blogs, maybe it was a press release, they were talking about, they asked Kyle what the relationship of these little sculptural pieces were, whether she copied these from the paintings or the paintings from these. She said she worked on them simultaneously. But I was thinking that when I was a kid, I read an article about Thomas Hart Benton, one of the great social realists and the mentor of Jackson Pollock, who did a lot of huge murals, and he always said that he worked on a lot of models like this so he could get a good reading of how the shade would fall and how he would kind of mold his forms and interlock them in relationships. This Flight of the Valkyrie, 2021, fired clay. Okay, so I'd actually thought that these were porcelain. Okay, so we've got our little doggies. I think the Valkyrie are from the Nibelungen legends. The same legends that Wagner based his Ring series of operas on. This is Icarus. This is 2015. This is 14 by 10 by 2. Actually, I kind of like the little boxes. So I'd say the boxes are probably about 4 inches deep. The Judgment of Paris relief. Okay, this is where a lot of trouble started here. I think that's where the whole Iliad and the Odyssey got started. I'm not sure, but I think this is a study for fall. So we've got our goddess riding the stag. They've got our mallards flying south. Sea monster relief. Okay. Also, it'd be interesting to see what would happen to these if Kyle painted them or glazed them. That would be very interesting. This is Andromeda relief. (2014) fired clay 14 by 9. And here's the last one. This is Guardian Angel 2019. James Kalm reporting on Kyle Staver, Tout Court, here at Half Gallery. You can like this, subscribe, share, link it up to all your social media sites, and you can leave your thoughts, ideas, comments, criticisms, and reviews below. And we always ask you to just say thank you, Kate. Thanks, Kate.
Thank you so much.
Whoa.
Again, my name is Marley. I'm from New York City. You guys can follow me on Instagram